Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with another recommendation video. You guys have been loving these lately, so I'm here with another one, and it is a highly requested one that I know other people have done. So it is the Grump Sunshine trope. So one of the characters is super grumpy, but the other one is not, and they're very bright and fun and happy, and so I have a lot to get to. I will link down below. I know Brief, I'm in Love and Words, did 2 of these, and other people did them. I'm blanking on them, but I will go ahead and link everybody I know who's done one down below, so if you want more of this trope, go check them out. I also want to shout someone out. So the past 2 weeks, I've chosen a creator who is close to a milestone on their channel, and you guys have been amazing in helping them reach those milestones. So today I have another one that I think you all should follow, and it is going to be Erin from Booked and Busy. Erin is at 7.93 thousand subscribers the day I'm filming this, so I definitely recommend following Erin. Let's help get her to 8,000, which would be absolutely amazing. I've been following Erin for a while, but I've been more of like a silent watcher. I am a silent watcher of so many channels. I'm so bad at commenting on channels, but I really love Erin's way of reading and talking about books, because lately she's been not liking the book she's talking about, and it's so entertaining watching her talk about the book she's reading. She does read a lot of books that she loves, but I think lately she was just in a slump where she couldn't find something she liked. She's been reading romance. She picked up some Beverly Jenkins, which made me super excited, and so she did do, I just watched this yesterday, a reaction to TikTok for the first time, and she was so confused the whole time watching. She was not impressed. It was hilarious. So I will link Erin's channel down below. She has me wanting to read a sci-fi book too, which I am going to soon. I already got it from the library, and I'm gonna read it hopefully next week. I got this because of her. And Erin, this book, it's over 800 pages long. So let's hope I enjoy this too. But go follow Erin if you want a reader who reads a lot of variety. She's super into sci-fi fantasy, but she does read some romance as well. So go check Erin out. If you like her content, give her a subscribe. But I will go ahead and get to the Grump Sunshine books that I love. I do have a mix of both historical and contemporary. The first one I want to start with, though, is one I read in 2016. It has been a long time since I've read this, so I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but I know the gist of it. So it's Bittersweet by Serena Bowen. This one, our main characters had a fling in the past, and years have passed, and now she works for a restaurant, and he works for I believe it's an apple orchard, and she is trying to find a new produce person for the restaurant, and so she is approaching his farm in order to have him work with the restaurant she's working for, so they need to work together, and that's where the romance takes off, and it's definitely Grump Sunshine. He has a lot of responsibility, and he has to take care of his family and take care of the family farm, and so he is just like a lot more serious, and she isn't, and it's a really great romance from what I remember. I have a hard time remembering books I read in January, let alone 5 years ago. I really remember enjoying this one, and I liked the whole, it's out in the farm, like he owns a farm. I don't think I've read a lot of like farmer romances, and it was really fun. So if you are at all interested, I would definitely recommend checking out Bittersweet. I do have 2 from the same author. Now I will have overlaps with some of the videos that I link down below, because we read a lot of the same books, and so I have these recommendations because I wanted to include them, but I know other people have included them on their videos because I can't not include them. The first is The Gravity of Us by Britney C Cherry. This is book 4 in this series, but it can definitely be read as a standalone. I've only read book 1 and book 4. This one, our hero is taking care of his daughter. I think it's his daughter, and she's a newborn, and the mom is out of the picture, and he is just completely overwhelmed and heartbroken over the situation, and our heroine comes in to help him. I think she has a floral shop, and she ends up helping take care. She does, because they meet in the beginning because of her floral shop, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. I cried in this book. This is one of my favorite books of all time. If you are a longtime follower of me, you probably heard me talk about this already, but this is definitely a Grump Sunshine because she tries to look at the bright side of things. He is very jaded about life, especially because of what happens to him and why he's in the situation he is, but it's so amazing. I definitely recommend this one. And then I also have Eleanor and Gray. This is Britney C Cherry again, and this one, they had a thing in the past and then they broke up, and now she is being hired as a nanny for him, for his kids. And so obviously he's now a single dad, and he is very different than who he was. He used to be the sunshine in the relationship. He was super happy, but now life just has again made him jaded and grumpy, and he wants absolutely nothing to do with her when she first shows up for the job, but then they get closer and it's their romance. I really enjoyed this one as well. Britney C Cherry really does that trope really well. So I haven't read Landon and Shay. I haven't read that one yet, so I can't include it, but if you like her, she's got a lot more to give you. The next one is going to be, what do I want to include? I have some historical, so we'll go with the historical. The first one is Dearest Rogue by Elizabeth Hoyt. This one's really fun because he's a grump, but he's her bodyguard. So our heroine is blind and her brother is pretty protective. I loved her brother's book, which is right before this one. I actually read this first and then I went back and read the brother's book. You can read these as standalones. I just picked and chose what books I wanted to read in the Maiden Lane series. This one, she's blind and she has a bodyguard because she is blind. Her brother, like I said, is overprotective. And he's definitely a grumpy hero. He was in the military and he had an accident, I believe, and so he does walk with a cane and a limp, and he follows her around and she's just like super bubbly and happy, and it's so funny watching them interact. And she doesn't like to be limited by anything, so she does things that probably are dangerous for her in her situation, but she absolutely doesn't care. It's really great. I would definitely recommend this one. I really love this series. I haven't read them all yet. I need to. I know a couple of booktubers got together and read the entire Maiden Lane series, and I'm very jealous. I want to soon, but this one was great. Then I have A Notorious Vow. In this one, our hero is deaf, and our heroine is betrothed to someone she doesn't want to marry. They just moved in next door, and she likes to take walks on his property, and he figures out about it, and he's like, go away. He's reclusive. He doesn't like to leave his house because of how people stare at him because he is deaf. They kind of see it a lot of times back in this time period. They saw disabilities as something that was taboo and strange and wrong. And so that's how people view him. He's tired of it. He never leaves his house. He's working on a hearing aid kind of invention, and they become friends, and she needs saving out of this marriage because her parents are trying to marry her off to this absolutely horrible, horrible man, and there might be a marriage of convenience in here, and it's really great. He is just such a good cinnamon roll guy, but he also doesn't like to speak to anybody out in society. He gets grumpy with her. He's like, get off my property, stop coming around, don't talk to me, but she does, and they become friends, and it's really cute. So you can be a cinnamon roll and a grump at the same time because he's really grumpy towards everyone else, but he does like her. So it was a really sweet romance. Let's go ahead. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is going to be a Nordic king, and in this one I feel like some of these do overlap with my grumpy hero recommendation, so I'll link that down below. I don't know if I already told you that, but this one, he lost his wife and he is raising his kids by himself. He's a king and they need to hire a nanny, and so our heroine is hired as the nanny, and he immediately looks at her and he's like, absolutely no way, because he's attracted to her, and it makes him even grumpier, which is also part of a different book I'm going to talk about, where like the fact that they like the woman makes them even more grumpy, and it's so funny because they just get really annoyed at them and themselves for the feeling attracted to the other person. But in this one, she is really, really great with his kids, and they have to spend time together and end up falling for each other. It's an age gap, royalty romance. I love this one. I talk about it a little bit, but I feel like I haven't talked about it in a while, so if you want that kind of romance, read A Nordic King. The next one I have, I feel like, is another one that I'm obsessed with, but I haven't talked about it recently, and that's Always Only You by Chloe Leese. I think that's the one, this one. I always get the titles mixed up. I'm currently listening to book 3 on audiobook, and it is absolutely amazing. It's a marriage and trouble romance. I love this whole series, but this one is the guy is the sunshine and the girl is the grump, and she is on the autism spectrum, and she also has arthritis, but she is very young. She's in her 20s, so she does walk with a cane, and she works for a hockey team, and he is one of the hockey players, and it's also forbidden because they work together. He hasn't wanted to like make a move because it's kind of like forbidden because they can't be together, but he ends up taking care of her at some point, and he is just like this happy guy, but it's really cute how they fall in love, and I really love this one so much. It's so good. And she kind of starts growing closer to his family because he does have a younger sister who's also on the autism spectrum. It was really sweet watching them get to know each other and her really getting attached to his family, and I really love this one, so I definitely recommend checking this out. I also have Look the Part, which is another one where our hero has lost someone, and so he has lost his wife and he blames himself. He's a single dad. His son is actually on the autism spectrum, and he is a lawyer, and he is subletting part of his office building to someone, and so our heroine shows up and he lets her sublet it. She is a music therapist, and so he doesn't register what that means. And so the first day she's there, he's like, what is that noise? And it's her, because she's doing music therapy, and he gets angry and threatens to kick her out, and it's this huge thing between them where he's saying he's gonna kick her out, and she's like, no you won't. And she's definitely very sunshiny to his grump, and he gets really annoyed with her, but he's super attracted to her, and it's definitely an attraction first, and something blooms from it. There's definitely more of let's get together because we're attracted to each other, and it's really fun. And then she starts teaching his son how to play the guitar, and so his son started to get attached to her, so he really can't tell her to go away, and then that makes him annoyed. And I really enjoyed this one. This one I read recently within the past year, and I know a few of you have picked it up because of me, and really enjoyed it. So if you haven't yet picked this up, I would definitely recommend it. I think I include this one in a single parent romance recommendation video because the son is in here, and I think the son was just a great character. I love it when the kids are actually really great characters and not just there for the plot. So this one I definitely recommend checking out. The next one I have is The Sum of All Kisses by Julia Quinn, and in this one our hero is definitely grumpy because he was in a duel and he got shot in the leg, and now he has a limp. He is really frustrated with his limitations because of his limp and how his leg will like really seize up, and it's really hard for him to move. And so our heroine hates him, and it's a hate to love, and I love this romance so much. It's hate to love because she blames him for why she's single, and I don't want to spoil why, but there's a reason why. And this is the third book in the series, I think it's the third book. I've loved every one, they're amazing, but in this one she is like put in charge of him at a wedding because one of the couples from the previous book is getting married, and they're like, you're gonna be in charge of him and make sure like he doesn't ruin anything and he has a good time. And she's like, excuse me. And so she has to spend time with him and starts getting to know him. And there's also a lot of traveling in here because they have to travel by coach from the wedding to, I don't remember where they're going, but they go somewhere. So there's really funny scenes of her with her sisters like in a coach with him, and it's really cute. I really love this. I was smiling the whole time I was reading it, and he is definitely really grumpy because of his situation. She hates him, but she's really a great character, and I'd recommend this one as well. The last one I have is Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare. Our hero is blind, and he's living in this mansion, this estate that is really just crumbling down, and our heroine shows up because she inherited the estate, and he's like, this is mine. And she's like, no, it's mine. And she doesn't have her father anymore, so she's really like destitute. Her father passed away and she's alone, and so she really needs this house. Her father actually was a famous children's author and wrote this series of books pretty much based on her when she was a child, and so they have like cosplayers and they show up, and she really loves the cosplayers. She loves the world that are in these books, and so she like welcomes them, and the hero's like, get them out of here now. He is not having it. He doesn't even want her in his mansion, let alone all these people that are obsessed with this book. And so it's really fun. She ends up trying to like build up this estate, and then they have to like pretend to be people in the book when these cosplayers come, and it's really cute. It's so fun. I love Tessa Dare, so this is definitely a Grump Sunshine romance. The last one, I'm sorry, I have one more, and it's the one that's obvious. It is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. This one is the one where Jacob sees Eve, and he is so annoyed with her, but so attracted to her, and he's so annoyed even more that he's attracted to her. It's hilarious. I laughed out loud so many times. Eve is definitely super bubbly and happy, and just looks at the positive of things. She's kicked out of her house because she can't hold a job down. She doesn't know what she wants to do, and her parents are like, you don't get your inheritance until you're serious and get a job. So she drives, sees a help wanted sign at this bed and breakfast, and she walks in, and it's Jacob's bed and breakfast. It's for the chef, and she's like, I can cook, and he's like, absolutely not. But his cousin is there, and he's like, no, we need to hire someone. She looks fine, let's hire her. And so they have to hire her. He's on the autism spectrum, and he likes things a certain way, and she is just like everything he hates. And it's so funny, but he is so attracted to her. So they have to work together. This is definitely a lot more character focused. It just takes place at their bed and breakfast with them interacting, but it's so adorable, so funny. I just love how grumpy he is. It's so adorable. I can't just say adorable every time I talk about this book, but I definitely recommend this if you haven't read it yet. And those are some Grump Sunshine recommendations. Let me know if you have any more for me in the comments down below, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.